Hi everyone, it's your Simmer here. So, welcome back to Sandy Slopolis as I continue to try to get familiar with the mechanics of the game myself versus just watching people play, which I've been doing a lot of. I continue to do that, and I continue to find, since I made my initial video and this one, that there are many different schools of thought to what makes sense and what works. So I think, really what I'm running into, which is not surprising, I think it's the standard piece that I would understand from any creator, is you kind of need to do what works for you and the style of gameplay and city you want, versus, necessarily saying, hey, this is the only way to be successful. Because if there's anything I've learned, it's that people have been successful many different ways. So what I am trying to do here, now hold on, I think it must be that. I think somehow I got confused. No, that's wrong, because I can see they're not lining up compared to the others. Interesting. And I'm not sure I want to be doing non-dirt roads either. So let's see. This is really where I want to be. I believe that's accurate. I may be off one. Alright, so I've learned my lesson of draw things where they make sense, I suppose. Yeah, that's on. Yeah, the road guidelines should help me with that, which they would. So what I'm trying to do here is, you can see I've got some increase in industrial. And what I want to do is keep my industrial separated. Yeah, let me go back to this. That works for what I need, but okay. There we go. So I want to run this up here. I think Alright, let me take this up to there. There we go. If I start doing things at the edge, that may be helpful. I think I'm okay. Yep, the electricity is spanning along. Let me see, I'm getting really close on running short. So what I think I want to do is get another one in here so that I don't have a problem. Water-wise, I'm doing terrific. Alright, how's my landfill? 7% full, 4 of 15 garbage trucks in use, so I've got huge residential demand. Now I want to, because now I can do a park, so I want to put in a playground near the school. Can I do this? It's too big. Alright. Can I do a small playground? Yes. Okay. So I'm going to put that in there. That will help with the parks. So then I can go ahead and zone the rest of this residential. Now the one thing I have seen someone do, and I think it's overcharged egg, I have seen them go ahead and do a lot of walking paths, which I've not seen other creators suggest as much. But the logic seems pretty sound, is that if I can keep my traffic down, that would be good. I may start to incorporate that as I grow. At this point, I'm really kind of focused on just growth. I mean, I don't know how else to describe it, other than, that's what I need. Now let's see. I should be able to, I think, get rid of these without any detrimental effect, because the power plant, the city has expanded now to the point, okay, I was confused with the water coming up. I still need this to get the water pumps, because the other thing that is interesting is I did see people were doing water. Oh, I see pumping capacity. Alright, because I saw other people use water towers as opposed to water pumping stations. But as I look at this, I get much more capacity for less cost. I get you don't need to move things around, so yeah, I don't know that I'm sold on the on other items like that as far as what I can do. So sorry, I've kind of gotten sucked into the inland water treatment plants of, would I rather do that rather than the pollution? So the capacity there includes processes to drain the wastewater back into the ground, and the plant surroundings will be affected by ground pollution. So I think here's 45, here's 100. Now what's the pollution level on this here? I don't understand how that pollution is 0. Oh, I see, because it's not polluting the ground in the area, is I think what that means. Alright, so my question is, alright, is that really in the location? Because what I'd like to do is get rid of this. It looks like it's still powered, because then alright, so it is fully zoned at this point. Because otherwise, what ends up, well, I guess there's 2 spots there that aren't. Otherwise, what ends up happening is the power, or the building doesn't build out here. Alright, so now I'm suddenly seeing a commercial demand. Not sure I want to go, because logically to create the buffer, I should just keep going around. So I think I'll do that. So yeah, I'll just go here. Whoops, 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 whoops. I gotta unzone here so that I can get my road. That was my concern. So let me get my road in there so that I don't have this problem again. Now I'm gonna do what I didn't do before, which was get that over. So at some point, I'm sure I'll break out of the grid. If for no other reason, one of the things that was interesting about this map is you can see there's some terrain pretty much everywhere, aside from, the center of the map here where I get started out. But at this point, I've just got too tempting of a square palette to break away from the grid in my head. Here I'm going to have the river, I'm going to have shoreline, I'm going to have other things, and obviously at the shoreline, I'm sure once we get up there, things will break apart a bit. But right now, I kind of like what I've got. I need to place a high school. Oh, and a public library. I forgot about that. Now, I don't have enough money for a high school. I need 24,000, so I think that's more important than the library. So I think I'm going to wait until that is available and trying to figure out where I want to place that. Because this is, okay, my elementary school. I suppose I could just do a school campus, because I've got the other elementary school somewhere. I don't remember where. Maybe this is it? No. That's a residence. Because I know I built it somewhere with the playground, right? I don't know. I'm losing my mind. Where is my playground? Sorry for not talking, but now there it is. Okay, so the school and the playground. So there we go. All right. So now I have enough. So yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and place the high school. And we'll just, you know, I've got something like this in the city I live in. I'm going to leave this as an opening, and I'm going to go ahead and, you know, do what folks had suggested, which is why maybe I need to turn my, whoops, nope, turn my grid off, because I can get, let's see, grid. Or maybe it's the road guidelines that are messing me up. Because, yeah, if I can put a walking path in there, that will help. You know, and it'll kind of increase that feeling that I've got something going on. Let's see, what else can I do? Not much right now. I don't know. Does a bouncy castle belong with a school? Why not, right? So maybe I'll do that because that's inexpensive. Although the small playground's actually more inexpensive, but I can't fit that there. But I could put it across the street, and then I could give, let's see, if I do that, that will increase happiness. That should increase some land values. And then I could go ahead and still do the bouncy house later. Just, you know, why not? I mean, and especially have it by the high schoolers. Let them have fun. Why not? Alright, I'm getting strong demand for residential, which is a good problem to have. Alright, so I think what I'm going to start doing is I'm also going to start creating some neighborhood commerce. So sometimes, you know, that's nice to do from the standpoint of having just shops people can walk to, local grocery store, maybe a barber shop, things like that, that will be more typical in especially dense cities and so forth. So, you know, I'm originally from Chicago, and any place like that, Chicago, New York, very much that way, where you've got your corner grocery store. You know, some of that may have fallen off recently with e-commerce and all that, but for the most part, I think that helps add things. So there you go. We've got a general store. What else has gone up? And a convenience store. So exactly the type of things that I was thinking about. Versus here, well, as I say that, we've got other things, so, you know, but there's restaurants and so forth kind of on the main road, which makes a little more sense. Good news is I'm not really seeing any traffic issues. Boomtown is at 2,600. So we're going to get to buy another square then if we want. Let me just make sure that I've got nothing. Let's see, beautiful parks, love the new parks. Importance of schooling, so people were probably upset it took me so long to put in the high school. Speaking of, oh, I still can't get the library. What do I need for the library? 22, wow, 22,000. I got a long way to go. I'd prefer to do this, just kind of let it be organic and not deal with loans. I get that means the city's going to grow slower. Let's see. New parks, hiking, what a nice day to be mayor. Alright, so, and that goes back to the police, so I think Yeah, nothing, no warnings or anything, which is what I'm more worried about. Residential. Alright. You know what? I'm just going to put in the bouncy house, because otherwise it's just never going to happen. Oh, wait. Can I not? Why is the bouncy house so big? That makes no sense. Okay, I'm not going to put in the bouncy house. That's too much land. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and make that residential. I'll have some people live right there. I think, you know, people will be happy there. I'll just extend more neighborhoods here. Just make sure I'm good. I am. Nothing infrastructure-wise looking too off. I don't need water for the power plant, nor do I need it for the dump, as we talked about. So probably just to close the grid off here, I'm going to go ahead and get this done and get the road network in, and then go ahead and extend my pipe, get my double or my redundancy in my connections. So that will help, because right now, yeah, I don't think I'm going to build out that way. Although if I expand, I don't know which way I would go. So yeah, I was going to talk about, as I grow, given that at 2600 we could get another tile. I'm not going to do that until I need to. But you know, the base game, my understanding is you can do 9 tiles. There's mods that open up the whole map. You know, I do have 81 tiles loaded. The thing is, I think with 81 tiles, I don't think you have to buy the tiles then. So that's kind of what I'm struggling with, is what I'd like is to be able to buy the whole map, but like to actually have to purchase the land, which would seem more realistic. Maybe that's what 25 tiles does? I don't know. I've heard there's a 25 tiles mod. I didn't look at that one. Alright, so let's see. Let's look at some of the policies. Energy. Okay, water usage. Moderately reducing smoke detector. A pet ban. So less garbage, but decreases happiness because people can't have pets. Similar type of thing, improved health, but parks and recreation, moderately increased land values. Citizens would prefer working over education. And only, oh, well, I don't want that. I want people to, and then, okay, because I think I've got Sunset Harbor and other things. I can do fishing and so forth. So there's a lot of policies that I'm not sure. So, but that does make me wonder if I should start doing districting, because it'll just let me understand what's happening in certain areas. So let's see. So let me give it a medium. Isn't this a medium brush? That is really big. Alright, so I'm going to paint this. We'll just make this neighborhood a district. And then I'll do, it's probably easier if I actually kind of come over here. I'll go do that for now. I'll extend it later if I need to. But I'm going to go up this way because I think this will just kind of be where I consolidate my industrial, which I probably really shouldn't do. I should probably spread it a bit more, but industrial is so pollutive. And then the rest of my districting will be here, which will be a slightly larger district than across the way. but that's all right. And, you know, other than separate policies, it's not really going to offer anything magical. Because let's see, this is a park area, an industry area, and then eventually the campus area. Because yes, I do have the campus mod too, or the DLC. So one of the things I did notice, for example, is really a lot of the DLCs just give you little cute things to build with. I mean, they do some changes. I think Industries does more than others, but like Campus, for example, I mean, I could build universities and so forth other ways. I'm getting close to the library here, so I think I'm gonna feel like this side of town's not getting any love. They probably are starting to feel that way too. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna get my grid expanded out here. Whoops, I just broke my power. So let me fix that before everyone starts crying that they don't have water. Alright. So I didn't mean to do that. Hopefully this won't take it out again. That would be really sad. But yeah, I think I'm going to put my library over here. You know, maybe I'll put it in the grid there, and then I can... Although, yeah, I think I'm going to have to put it like there. I don't know that it'll expand out enough to be there, because if I could, then I could get rid of those lines. But that also then gives some city services over on that side. Speaking of, wow, I think I need more. I didn't realize fire had that much difficult challenge. Alright, well, I need to do something about that, so let me put that there. That will help, especially with the industrial. But yeah, the fire hazard was getting a little out of control there. Still pretty high. It's almost like I need a third. It's interesting that the fire coverage is not that great. Alright, well that's going to make it harder to get enough money for the library. I'm going to go ahead. I've got, again, a lot of commercial demand. So at this point I've kind of committed. We'll see if I'm going to regret this. But I've kind of committed to this horseshoe shape of commerce and industrial. So I may not really enjoy that. Alright, let me put some more industry in, because we are certainly starting to have that demand going up. Just not sure how much I need. I know I've certainly, again, heard overzoning too quickly ends up being very inefficient and ineffective. Now, I've seen some folks, again, I think it might be overcharged ag. The example that I've looked at is they'll put in patterns and then let things grow a little cleaner so that you don't get stuff like this where maybe there's nothing that's going to show up there, or it's going to be a bit more of a challenge for something to show up there. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and get all of this done in residential. And then once again, I just feel like I'm getting too many neighborhoods. You know what, I'm going to unzone this. So, sorry, sir, but I just shut you down. I understand that. Alright, I'm going to give them that. And this. And then we'll do the rest of it as residential. Alright, hopefully that'll do things. But I'm sorry, I'm kind of disjointedly talking about things. So, what they had done is, zone a 4x4 and then a 4x4 and a 4x4. And then once there's buildings there, then they kind of zone out the remainder of the block to have some more uniformity in what shows up. From an aesthetic standpoint, I certainly understand that. I think in the future, I might try that with certain kind of builds or whatever. Different maps and this and that. But right now, I think just letting things grow. We're getting really close to 2,600. All right, demand's at least coming down. I don't understand why commerce is so crazy. And I think that's what I had heard. Like, if you put too much commerce in and you don't leave some demand, that it just kind of continues to, like, it never comes back. Like, at some point you lose demand. All right, so we have all these new services. Now, a lot of these are because of DLCs. I think like ferry, post service. I think we would have gotten buses, but I think walking tours also, taxi. And then some of these new policies, we get a lot of new roads, so we get the bus only roads, which I forget, that might be mass transit. Actually, I think no, I guess it doesn't tell me. It just tells me it's a road, because like these, I think, no, that's just the type of thing they are. All right, but we have cemeteries, elder care, and we still haven't placed the library. Getting too much stuff. All right. So the next milestone, all right, is 4,800. So the other piece is these milestones depend on your map, too. So there's definitely some stuff I have going on here because I have a lot of free land. Oh, goodness. Well, that didn't work out. Oh, I know. Well, that was because I had done that. All right, so I'm going to take... Is this going to fit here if I do this, or is this going to knock out my street? All right, if I do that, that'll work. So I'm going to do eminent domain there, but I think then it will still, yes, all right. But that gets the library in. All right, and as morbid as this will be, I think I'm going to do... let's see, I'll run these down and see what I want to do. Get the water service down there. But I think I'm going to get the cemetery in here. Do I want it like, sometimes you come into town and there's a cemetery. Yeah, I'll put it over there. And then just across the street we'll put elder care. All right, and then I do have, I think, child care that I want to place. So yeah, let's see. Cemetery is open. Okay, love libraries. All right, so good. The good thing is I just want to make sure there aren't complaints. So let me just make sure. Now I can do some terraforming finally here. Vegetation, where is... Oh, there it is, okay. Like, where is the terraforming? Because, yeah, I think I want to clean this up, because I have been really sloppy about... this isn't really helping. Probably because there isn't much it can do, but, let's see. So let me go ahead, though. Now we're technically in tropical, but, let's see. Why is that so small? That's an oak, but it's like diminutive oak. yeah. Yeah, all the trees are about the same cost, but we'll give the folks some nice backyard here. I'm going to give them a path to walk on again. Let me get rid of the grid. Yeah, let them walk between the trees. So we'll give them a nice dedicated block. Try to maybe think a little bit more about livability in the city, because I do think I've gotten a bit sloppy, certainly, with things. Some content creator trees. Let's see, some horse chestnut. So I think this was an addition at some point. So yeah, definitely looking a lot nicer. Maybe feels like we're not just wanting them to come across the street to the cemetery. It's like I said, it's a little sad and morbid that way, but it's the place to put things. Alright, so death care, doing okay. Obviously child care. If I can do the child health facility, so I need 18,000 for that. What else have we got? Alright, I don't need another cemetery. So at some point we'll get the crematorium, which will allow us to do things, but we need 14,000 people for that. So yeah, I do apologize for, like I said, the disjointed nature. It's just these kind of games, it's hard for me to kind of stay on one topic, but I know I was talking about hold on, because now I don't remember what I was talking about. Oh, yeah, the city sizes. So I guess I did mention that, you know, it's based on the growth, but or the ground that you have and how much you can spread out. So if it's easier to build, your milestones are higher. So I think, you know, there's the mega something or other, megalopolis is, yeah, the big one. Oh, okay, so it does look like when we get to megalopolis, we unlock the squares and we can buy them. So maybe the 81 tiles does that, you know, and instead of like enabling it. So that might work, but yeah, it's 65,000, where sometimes I think I've seen things up in 70 or 74. So in theory, this has lower targets than I could have, but it seems high to me for the groups. So that's what I was actually thinking, is that it was a bit of a jump from 2,600 to 4,800, but maybe that's normally like 5,000 or something. So let's see, residential. I'm honestly torn about building out or back. I don't know. I mean, at some point, because this way I don't hit the water. Now I need the child care facility first, so let me wait on the health center, because I'm tempted to add road, but I don't want to do that until I can improve the child care situation. Although my problem is I think I've got slowing growth because of lack of residential. Eesh. So many challenges of trying to kind of deal with the city doing what it's doing. That is a big library, but that's alright. Okay, so at this point I can place the child health center. I just need to be careful that, again, I'm not blocking my road. So I'm going to put that there. But now I do need to, so I'm going to go out this way, is where I will go. And then tiny little bit. We'll zone this out. Let's see. Alright, well, we've got water because the pipe crosses there, so that's alright. Once again, I can probably clean up those pipes later. But yeah, at least we're up to not plus 20, we're up to like plus 40. So what comes at 4,000? Tourism, kind of new buildings. Do I have to place? Lots of roads. Alright, so we're going to get a hospital. And I've not used like the giant fire stations and police headquarters, but I probably should. It just, you know, and I think because they were beginning tutorials, people weren't doing that. I need to grow. I need to grow. That's all I can say. Whoops. 300. And there we go. We'll do that. Bring that down. Get these drawn in, and then we'll put a bunch more residential. We'll get the solid blocks in back here. Because we just, I mean, it's great to have demand. It's great that people want to move in. So I don't know that I'm going to get to the next town milestone. I think it just really depends how fast things are going to go. If I have enough money, I should be okay, but I mean, they're definitely piling in here. Whoops, let me extend my pipes. So I've got the same problem there. Go ahead and run that up here. But yeah, as I do the infrastructure, because I do really want to run this road out and let people continue to connect in. Alright, residential demand's going down. My residents really obviously love commerce, which again I guess is a good thing, but I'm struggling with giving them enough. So let's get this zoned out where I can. That will do a little bit more. And again, I think commerce tends to move a lot faster, because we obviously certainly don't have as much commercial as we have the residential. Now the one thing is, I know there's like high-rise bands that we can do, and I wonder if that's city planning, because I'm not seeing anything about high-rise bands, so I think we have to get to the 4,800 before we can do that. Because yeah, I think we want to avoid that in at least most of the districts. I mean, we're growing pretty quickly now, although residential has shrunk, probably because we've had so many people move in. We've had almost 300 people come in, so we've expanded our town about 10% pretty fast. Alright, let me look. 4-lane. I think this is the road I've got. Just gonna keep heading out. You know what, I'm gonna stop there in case I decide to do something different on the waterfront. Because the other question is, can I see my natural resources? So yeah, because I do have a lot of forest there, and forest is a sustainable industry. That might actually not be a bad thing to do. Now, this is ore, but I don't think I want to get into the situation, because a lot of people have talked about, like, if you actually use this, this isn't replenishable. And so a lot of folks, if they do ore industry, they just kind of have it brought in. They do all import of oil and ore, is what I've seen. And again, that seems to make a lot of sense. So I'm going to extend my piping here. And then I can extend my commercial district further out. Now I've got to be careful. So hold on, let me run my streets over, because I think trying to do it the way I was doing it is just going to be a recipe for disaster. Alright, and then I can go up 300 over, up 300 and over, and get my blocks set, and then I can do commercial zoning around there. Alright, so it gives me 3 more blocks. Because now here I can do that, and then obviously come over. Probably need to get on my traffic and junctions, and yes, turn these. Oops. Traffic junctions, change these, because this is still my priority road. So I don't want signalizing on that. Alright, let me get this connection in. Alright, so I can zone in my commercial now without fear of, let's see, I don't want to do too much, so we'll go here and here, and then we'll see what we get, because residential demand is coming up. Alright, so I probably want to close this block off, then go ahead and get these couple, and then I can again add some residential back here. So we'll just keep running this as a really big residential section of town. Paint this in here. Alright, and then I think I want to square off this to get my industry expanded, because now I've got industrial demand, and I don't think I want to let that run away too much. Let me just make sure. I might not have enough, water extension up yet. Alright, I need this though to go up here. Let me extend this road up a bit, because what I want to do is I want to get the pipe to there. Let me turn this so that I can see what's happening there. Because, this should then come over. I should have done that already, but that's okay. But what that'll allow me to do then is bulldoze out this so that I'm not going under the homes, and then I can just appropriately extend my pipes and have the proper grid work, kind of like I'm cleaning up my electrical as well. Alright, so now we've kind of overextended our residential. My commerce isn't built out yet, right? Oh no, it is. Alright, Alright, well, let me put the zone over here to separate the industrial out. I'm wondering if I want to ring some commerce around the end here too. Just not sure. Alright. Just get my roads back up here. Because I don't trust myself to zone things appropriately. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to put some more commerce in there. Wow, as soon as I gave them some, things are moving in. Because, yeah, I can run industrial up here a bit. I think I need to expand that sector out. So let me do that. Move over. I just want to make sure, again, I'm not creating a situation where I can't honor my grid. Alright, I think I'm okay continuing one more, and then I'm going to have to make the decision about whether I want to... Oh, I guess I have to do it in segments of 300 then, because you can't cross the road. But yeah, we're continuing here, so I'm going to give it quite a bit of industrial. Make sure I have my water extended up. There we go. Alright, so we've got enough there. But giving the couple industrial, the challenge is we're probably going to have all kinds of traffic going through these neighborhoods now, given that industrial edge. I don't know. I mean, I don't think folks are complaining. They are not. Alright, let me just check my services, but I think at this point I might call this a stopping point, because I feel like I've been doing things for a while. Wow, we've outgrown our electrical again. At 4,800 we'd be at the other power, but we're just not there, so go ahead and put that in. That will take care of our electricity needs. So there we go. We're good there. Water is getting up there. So I think I need an additional water point here. Alright, put that there. That should be on the line. It is. And then I always like to do the sewage together. Alright, so we're down to... Whoops, did I break my power? Somehow I did. Alright. Well, that was probably foolish, because then as soon as I place the next one, I'm going to have the same problem. So, let me fix that. What I really need to do is more go like, well, let me see, go back here, and then I should be in good shape there. Alright. So, we are growing. We're getting close to 4,000. So I think that has doubled, because I think we were at about 2,000 at the last episode, so I'm going to go ahead and stop that there. Looks like we're getting some residential demand again, and I will pick it up next time. So certainly, please, if you've enjoyed this series, go ahead and like it. Please subscribe to the channel. That helps a lot. Helps things grow and expand. Commenting is obviously the most important thing, so that I get feedback and can understand what you like, what you've got to tell me about things. So definitely love interacting with everybody. So I'd like to see things move on, and anybody have anything to say, certainly love to hear that. But I will see you next time.